Hello, it's Brendan from techbuzzireland. Today we have the Voyager Focus 2. This is actually the UC model there, and as usual with the Poly Plantronics, we don't get a huge amount out of the box. A bit of information there on the background, but not to really give you huge details what it is. And as always, brown box, looks a bit plain, but as always we're just interested in what's actually in the box itself. Comes with the usual style base part here at the moment, just plugs in as you would expect with the normal Poly equipment. Headset part comes with user guide, bits and pieces, not much good, bits of information, not much good, and what's probably good, more importantly, is this particular quick start guide, so it gives us a guide. Also comes with a bag. Now, bag might look a bit flimsy, it's got the Policy logo, but I really like this particular bag. Now, the reason it's really good is because with inside it, it's an all bag, it's got a zip. Inside the zip, you put your USB-A cable, which connects directly to the unit itself and the USB, and it comes with a little pocket there for your little dongle that comes with it. That part is absolutely great because a lot of the ones I've actually connected before, within a couple of weeks, I've lost the particular dongle, and I'll show you the dongle in a few moments. So what you can do is, if you're moving about, throw the dongle in there, zip up this, zip up the headset, put it in to go, and off you go. And that's, the bag is quite good. On this itself, going to the quick start side, what it's actually saying is that little dongle I was talking about, plug it directly into the laptop and it works, and those details. Plug it in. What I found is probably one of the easiest units I have actually set up. So all I've really done is plug that dongle directly into a laptop, switch this on, connect it, no work, no nothing. The other part about it is quite good, it does connect directly to your Bluetooth, to your phone. So a lot of, a couple of great parts on that. It allows you the multi-functionality to actually collect it, and that's the multi-point connectivity. And I've mentioned before, without the multi-point connectivity, you won't be able to connect two products, and it works very well. So if you get a call on your laptop, Teams call, or you get a call on your mobile phone, it'll swap around, etc. The one thing to note very quickly on this particular one though, it doesn't have a Teams logo. A lot of the other Poly ones normally has a little blue label to say it's connected. This does actually work with Teams, and it works very, very well. And a bit more details onto it. Got the usual rubber padding there, which is nice and soft. You can stretch it there. And so far, doesn't seem to be anything unusual, specific about this particular headset. But what I like about it here is, typical fashion, you've got the button, press it on green, goes off to off when it's off. I like that because just when you pick up the handset, it does talk to you, it does let you know what's going on. It does have the USB charging, which I'm not particularly crazy on. I'm not sure why they didn't put the USB-C. Modern technology, you can use the same charger for your phone, so if it gets low charging while you're using it, you can plug it in directly there. Two grips on the bottom are actually for your, when it plugs into your charger. But another really great feature, this particular one, is there's three different settings here. 1, 2, 3. The first one is actually turning active noise cancelling off, which reduces the external noise and enhances your music and sound quality. So as you slide it up, the first section is basically low noise in the office. If there's a highlight in the office, I have no idea why that isn't apparently on. So if you've got a noise cancelling handset, active noise cancelling, switch it on. It blocks the noise from the microphone there. And that, yes, it does use a little bit of the battery, but to be honest with you, if you have this kind of a quality handset, why waste your time there at the moment? Battery life is about, talk time is up to about 19 hours. With the ANC on, you're talking about 6 hours. So you're losing a few hours. But in reality is, I wouldn't bother with it. Listening time up to 40 hours there if you're using it on that. 24 hours if it's on. So personally, unless you're listening to some sort of music only doing that, it's the only reason I'd actually switch it off. It's for the microphone, except technology. So that's just a quick view there on that. But what's really like about it is, one of them, and this is probably where it comes out into its own a little bit more. So you can connect it to your mobile phone if you wish. This is a little dongle I had mentioned about. So this is paired. Watching the red particular colour there at the moment. The headset can be used left or right. So the microphone can go forward that way. And what you might see is the mute on, mute off. Watching the colour as well there as well. You see the colour? It's been muted. So in essence, switching it off, on is the mute. It also has, if you don't want to use that particular part, it's also got a button here. So you can press that for there. So the mute's on. And again, you can turn the volume up. And you can turn the volume down with these particular options, which is very good. So you don't have to, and if you're left-handed or right-handed as well, it doesn't really make a difference. So they're quite standard enough, but the extra functions are actually quite good. The other part that actually makes a big difference is the software itself. You do not have to download any particular software on that. But if you do, it gives you some other functionality. Within the functionality there at the moment, you've got lots of settings. You've got a lot of settings. So you download the PolyLens software. Gives you a quick idea. Tells me the battery life, tells me it's connected. USB adapter. This is a USB adapter which is plugged directly into the laptop. Settings. Now what I like about the settings is I can actually set it so when this is on the desk, phone call comes in, as I pick it up, it's auto answer. It'll sense that I picked it up off the ground, it'll automatically answer it, or off as the case I wanted. You can also turn the ringtone on it. So if it's sitting on the desk and I get a call coming through, a lot of calls will come through the earphones and you can't actually hear it. This particular one will allow you to actually hear it directly, and that's really good. So that you can hear it actually buzzing in the background to let it know it's coming up. And these are all the functionalities you can actually set with it. And you've got your support and you can update it as well. What's kind of strange on this particular one is the PolyLens. This is another one there for different poly one there. So there doesn't seem to be a standardized software that's used for everything. That'd be a little bit of what I class as a bit of annoying there at the moment. If you buy it as a one, you'll never know that's a query there. A little bit of a dongle here. Quite good. Problem is that's it pushed in. The recommended use is directly to keep this plugged in and use it on there. You can do it Bluetooth, but the manufacturers recommend to use it. To me, it works, but when I take that out and I plug it into my laptop bag, I'm afraid I'm going to snap that. Okay, so that means in theory, every time I put my laptop away, I have to pull this out, put it in the bag to make sure I don't lose it, etc. Ideally, what I'd love to see one is just jammed in there with a big part that I don't actually see it. And there's probably a very technical reason why the distance, etc. would give it on there. So I suppose overall, this particular one there, it supports a lot of Bluetooth profiles there on that. It's got a very good range. You're probably talking about 50-meter range working with this, but in reality is when you actually go 50 meters away to using it there. USB cable, not overly crazy on the fact it's not USB-C. Boom left or right is excellent. And I suppose probably most people would say, well, that's okay, that's okay. What's the quality like? Well, quality on the Poly is just excellent. It is just always excellent. I never have a problem with that. And one thing I really do like is it just connects. So some other ones people say, oh, you're on a Teams call, switch it off, switch it on. You've got to do that to make it work. Plug this in the morning, shove it in there, and that works. You don't have a problem there. When the noise cancelling is switched on, this particular feature, it's excellent, very good. So the interference, if you walk to, and I've done this many occasions, I've walked to the radio and put this switched on and you can't hear the background noise. Obviously if there's a dog barking in the background, a high-pitched noise, sometimes it can get picked up, but 9 times out of 10 is very, very low audible there and that. Lots of other features. Left and right, excellent, so at least you've got the options there. Mute is the most common terminology that you hear in most Teams calls, and again it gives you things. It also lets you know by the light the different colours. The colours, there is loads of other details on that. As far as wearing it comfortable all day, It is comfortable. It's got the nice leather padding here on that. Looks quite good. Surprised the team's logo is nothing, but I cannot fault it. It has been used on Zoom and a variety of other different types of calls there. Charging USB, so you can plug it directly in it here. Plug that directly into your laptop, or if you've got an old phone charger, just plug it in directly on that, so you can leave it outside. You don't necessarily need the stand. Just instead get your normal old phone charging lead, plug it in there. It does come with one there, so you could, in theory, if you're on a call getting a low battery, just get something like a brick, for example, charger. You plug it directly into here and it will actually work, so there's no problems on that. As always, excellent. As I said, that not 100% sure, sticking out a bit more. Multi-point is 100% requirement. Quality, excellent. So overall, this is another great functionality from the Poly Voyager. Slightly confusing with the different versions of software because it's got 3 or 4 different versions. It doesn't seem to have the tie down to say, is this a Plantronics thing, is it Poly or something else? If you've only got one, you won't even notice that. And it's just for me having 3 or 4, trying a couple of these different headsets, having the different software, but it being allowed to set the functionalities within the software tailors it to my requirements. Overall, I can't fault this. Quality, excellent. Probably worn this for about 50 hours at this particular stage, the last couple of weeks. It does have the logos, etc. on the sides here. It's a nice little touch, and it looks fairly good. On some of the other ones, it has different colours on the bottom, but nice and plain there. And that's it from TechBuzz Ireland. Thank you for watching the TechBuzz Ireland